Welcome to Sales Simplified. Today I'm going to walk you through a basic VLOOKUP formula, but let me give you my disclosure first. VLOOKUPs are very prone to errors, and that's not really because the formula is all that complicated. It's because the data formats from all the different data sources that are out in the world don't generally match. And so that's why we have a lot of errors, and it can take a while to track down what exactly is different about the data formats, because that is the main problem with VLOOKUP formulas. So in this demonstration, we are going to assume that everything is great. Murphy's Law has been paused, no strange and unnecessary things have been done to our data sets, and everything is sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. So just pretend with me. Life is good. So that being said, let's look at our data before we get into the formula. On our first tab, we have a list of employees. We have employee IDs, their names, office they work at, the department code for them, but we're missing the department name for those employees. And so on our second tab, the department listing tab, we have the department codes and the corresponding department names. And so because we have the department code on both of these tabs, we can use our VLOOKUP formula to tie them together and bring over the department name. So let's be sure we've selected cell G2, and then on the formulas tab, we're going to click the Lookup and Reference button, and then we'll pick VLOOKUP from the drop-down list. And so now Excel is showing us what parts of the formula that we have to have before our VLOOKUP will work. The first thing is the lookup value. And so this is where we identify what we want to get more information about. Well, this very first VLOOKUP is just trying to identify the department name for our first employee in the list, based on the department code in cell F2. So we're going to type F2 in the lookup value field. The next thing we need is the table array. And so instead of typing this in, I'm actually just going to select it because it's a little bit more complicated format. But the table array is where we identify where we're going to get that additional information from. And so we're going to get that additional information from our second tab, the department listing. So we've clicked in the table array field, and now we're going to click on the department listing tab and highlight. We're going to click on column A and keep holding down the left mouse button and go all the way over to column C and then release the mouse button. And so we can see this complicated format I was talking about in the table array field now, where we have an apostrophe, the tab name, and another apostrophe, exclamation mark, and then our first column, colon, and our last column. The next thing we need is our column index number. And the column index number is where we identify which column in our table array has the target piece of data, the data we want to bring back into our other table. And so in this case, it's the department name, which is the third column in this data set. So we're going to type 3 in the column index number field. And then finally, the range lookup is false for now. Let's just say false. And so the only options are true and false. And so basically I use false 99% of the time in my work life, and that's because false says I need an exact match. If you can't find an exact match for the department codes on my employee information tab in the department listing tab of department codes, then I don't want you to give me something close. This isn't horseshoes, and close is not good enough. I need an exact match. And so that's why we are going with false for right now. We'll cover true in another video later on. And so now let's go ahead and click OK. And so here we can see that the department name for department code 105 is sales according to our VLOOKUP. So let's go ahead and double check on our department listing, and we see that does in fact match, so that's good news. So let's come back to our employee information tab, select cell G2, and now we want to drag the formula down. So with this cell selected, we're going to move our mouse over the lower right hand corner until it turns into this crosshair. And then we're going to click with the left mouse button, drag all the way down. And then when we get to the last row, we will release the left mouse button, and that drags our formula down for us. And so now we can see that we've brought over all of our department names for all of our employees. So I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, we'll cover different examples in the future, especially where we have errors. So comment below if you have any other topics that you'd like me to cover, and have a great day.